All right, we are live. Halito Oseo, this is Rafi El Ratawa Smith, the creator of Autochtons of America, and you are tuned in to a live broadcast brought to you by StreamYard. This is my first time using this app, so just bear with me as I review the details and the calibration just to make sure everything is in alignment here. Make sure there's a go for YouTube Studio and StreamYard Studio. Okay. And we're going to touch and dive deep into the secret documents that is being exposed because of a secret lawsuit, right? Against the FDA and Pfizer. Okay. All right, we are live. Halito Oseo, this is Rafi El Ratawa Smith, and you are tuned in to the first ever episode live broadcast brought to you by StreamYard of the Pfizer and FDA secret lawsuit. Okay. And it's so puzzling to me because this is a rarely known occurrence that's happening right now. Okay. While everyone's all worried about the Oscars and Will Smith and Chris Rock, right, in the Ukraine and the Russian war, there was actually a lawsuit that has been filed against the FDA and Pfizer. Okay. It was originally an FOIA request. That's the Freedom of Information Act. And that was a request by a group known as Public Health and Medical Professionals for Transparency. Okay. And the reason that they filed this FOIA request was because they wanted the Pfizer clinical trial data. Okay. And because Pfizer is a vaccine manufacturer, the number one manufacturer in the United States, it's only right that we should be allowed to review the data. Okay, if we're going to be injected with this new drug, right, this biological agent, it's only right that falls within the ethics of the medical society. Okay, however, there's something very interesting that happened. Something very interesting. Check this out. So instead of giving the documentation and allowing the public to review the data, right, to determine if we as individuals should get this so-called vaccine, they actually denied this group of medical professionals the right to look at the data, and instead they required that it would take 75 years, right, to show the public all of the data. Okay. That's what they said. I didn't say that. That's what they said. And now I'm going to share with y'all the actual court case so that way you can review it for yourself. Okay. See, we're going to go to entire screen, share, and we're gonna go from the YouTube studio all the way to the court documents. So again, this is Public Health and Medical Professionals for Transparency. This is the group of highly qualified, okay, medical professionals of notoriety, okay, and they filed this FOI request that turned into a lawsuit that forced the FDA to now administer all of Pfizer's clinical trial data. Okay, and once you scroll down from their main page, they're going to show you the court documents from the very beginning when they filed that complaint, which was in August, and then go through until September 16th, 2021. Okay, and now remember, Pfizer's vaccine was only authorized for emergency use authorization, an EUA. Okay, it was only just now approved and able to be licensed by the FDA back in August 2021. So that's not very far ago at all. So bear in mind that fact. Okay. So as you can see, it goes all the way down from the complaints to the FDA appendix and support. Now here's where it gets very interesting. Okay. Here's where it gets really, really interesting. Now, this was taken from one of the documents that the FDA was forced to release. It was titled 5.3.6 Cumulative Analysis of Post Authorization Adverse Event Reports. Okay. And again, this was all confidential. This was all private information, right? Before it was shared with the public. Okay. Let's go back to it. And what's very interesting is we're going to go all the way down to the adverse events, which is on page 9. Okay, this is page 7. This is page 8. All right. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The summary of safety concerns in the U.S. Pharmacovigilance Plan. Okay, let's read it back up just so we can be clear. So the Pharmacovigilance Plan, that's basically a system that is reviewing and surveying all of the events and side effects that occur from taking this experimental injection. Okay, so this plan was set forth prior to the release of the vaccine because, again, this is a very new type of medicine. Okay, this is dealing with mRNA technology. That's why it's not really technically a vaccine. It's an mRNA gene therapy. Okay. So here's where it gets interesting. Okay. Now, all of any type of medical reaction from the vaccine, from the jab, is supposed to be recorded. Okay. And it's supposed to be recorded in a system called the VAERS system. So the vaccine adverse event recording system. All right. Any type of side effect, whether from mild to a severe side effect, it must be recorded. And that's what the VAERS system is supposed to be used for. Okay. I'm just scrolling through this document to locate all of the adverse events that are associated upon taking the Pfizer jab. Okay. Now, as you can see, as I'm scrolling down, this is facial paralysis, right? Hepatic AESI. I don't even know what that is, right? Dermatological AESI. I don't know what that is, but it's there. Cardiovascular AESI. Okay. And again, it's this is titled the review of adverse events of special interest. Aha. So that's what that AESI stands for. The review of adverse events of special interest. Okay. And so as I was scrolling, these are the adverse events that was recorded in the clinical trials. Okay, so now you can kind of see why they were very reluctant to release this information. Right? They talk about 75 years to release information. However, on the other hand, it took the FDA 108 days to approve the vaccine. So they're telling us that it took 108 days to review all of the very same data that it's going to take 75 years to release. Think about that. Okay, here we go. This is where it gets really interesting. This is page 1 of the appendix list of adverse events of special interest. Okay. I'm just going to kind of just go through them, not too much. I'm just going to skip around for the ones that hop out to me. So there's deletion syndrome as an adverse event. There's antibody positive events. There's anti-nuclear antibody positive adverse events. There's arterial bypass thrombosis. There's arteriovenous graft thrombosis as an adverse event. There's autoimmune blistering disease as an adverse event from the vaccine. There's autoinflammatory disease as an adverse event from the vaccine. There is cardiac ventricular thrombosis. There's cardiogenic shock as an adverse event from taking this vaccine. There is cardiorespiratory arrest, okay, from taking this vaccine. There is cerebral gas embolism. There is cerebral microembolism from taking this vaccine. And as you can see, I'm just still going down this second page. And these are all of the adverse events of concern from taking this vaccine that was approved and licensed by the FDA. Okay. So I'm just going to continue reading because it's blowing my mind at just how much there is. Now it's really making sense to me why it took why they tried to take 75 years to release this information. Okay. We're going to keep going. It's endocrine disorder is also an adverse event from taking the vaccine. Okay. Eye swelling, right? Face edema, febrile infection related epilepsy syndrome. Right? This list is extremely extensive, and I think I'm not even halfway. Hepatic vein thrombosis, herpes simplex colitis. So as you can see, it's saying you're getting herpes from taking this vaccine as an adverse event. This is insane. Let's continue on. Hypotramic seizure, hypotension. Okay. Immune mediated uveitis, lip swelling, lip edema, liver function, sclerosis, liver induration, liver injury, liver iron concentration abnormal. Okay. So as you can see by now, it's going in alphabetical order, listing all of the various adverse events, and I'm still just going to keep reading it through So this can get into the airwaves. All right. Maternal exposure during pregnancy. Okay. Medical device site thrombosis. Okay. Nasal obstruction. Nasal herpes. You can't make this up. Here we go. Pericarditis. All right. As you know, that's a blood clot. Okay. That's a blood clot within the heart. Let's continue on. Progressive multiple sclerosis. Okay. Prosthetic cardiac valve sclerosis. Okay. Now we're getting into the R's. Respiratory distress, respiratory failure, respiratory paralysis. Okay. All right. Now check this out. This is very interesting. It states that it'll give a positive SARS-CoV-2 antibody test. Now, I just got to pause right here. So it's stating right here that if you take this vaccine, that it is going to give you a positive test for COVID. So now it's kind of clicking. Now it kind of makes sense how when the vaccine was released, the cases, the positive cases have more than quadrupled in the United States. And it's not just central, okay? This is a commonplace in occurrence all over the world. Right now, Israel, which is or was the most vaccinated country, is on its fourth booster shot. And it just keeps wreaking the highest case rates in its history, like every week. Okay. And it is because right here stated in these adverse events that was released by Pfizer, okay, not willingly, but forced because of a lawsuit, okay, it's stating that the vaccine is making you test positive for COVID. Okay. So I'm going to just leave that right there. The title of this document is 5.3.6 Post Marketing Experience PDF. You can find this document here if you go to Public Health and Medical Professionals for Transparency.org, phmtpt.org for short, /court documents. Okay. All right. So now that I shared that with y'all, we're going to move on, and I want y'all to do your due diligence on your own and review that web page. Okay. Review that web page because that just blew my mind with how extensive and how long that list of adverse side effects from the vaccine truly was. So this is the title of the United States court case, okay, between the Public Health and Medical Professionals for Transparency against the FDA. Okay, so here's the court case if you want to look it up. All right. What else do I have for y'all? I want to share. I'm going to go ahead and just drop this with y'all. Here's my link to my webpage and just a collection of all of my social media accounts from YouTube to Blog Talk Radio to Facebook. Check it out right here at Linktree/AuTalkTons. Okay. And I also want to share with y'all as to what I do and just doing my part in exposing this whole facade, okay, that's being perpetuated in the United States. All right, this medical tyranny is real life. Okay, so we're gonna take it back to me. The screen was just kind of weird there while I was doing that. But nevertheless, once again, this is Raphael Ratawa Smith. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you again go to my website at talktonsofamerica.com, where I do provide affidavits that you can use in case of these mandates where they're trying to force you to get vaccinated, right? They're trying to force you, or they're trying to coerce you into being injected with this biological agent. You don't have to. All right. You don't have to be coerced. Okay. You have to know your rights. And so, what I do again with my website is I actually provide a service of a legal document known as an affidavit of declination. I modify that specifically to your situation. Okay, whether it's school, it's a workplace, or whatever institution that you're in, and they're trying to shove this mandate down your throat, you do have options to legally decline it. Okay, within your rights. And so again, go to my website, order that affidavit, and that's a one-on-one immediately between me and you. And then I send the information over to you, modified and personalized for your situation. So I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys. Again, this was my first broadcast on StreamYard, so I was really unaware of how to make it work. But however, we got it going. Again, this was the Pfizer and the FDA secret lawsuit. Okay, that's going on. Like, it's not reported by the media, right? It's not reported by mainstream media. Okay, so I just hope this video is going to be shared and not just looked at, because this is a major lawsuit. Okay, and they lost. Okay, they tried to withhold this information for 75 years. All right, this Texas district judge says, no, you must release these documents, okay, within a certain period of months, and you must do it now. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. I hope y'all have a great day. Stay aware, okay, and stay up. Peace.